How do you find the right person?
By being the right person. Think about it. If you work on improving all aspects of your life, if your standards are simply things you can already provide for yourself, that's not high standards. That's just your standards. Personally, I don't want to date in a way where I feel like I'm in constant debt to someone. Because let's be realistic here. Usually, a lot of wealthy men, and I'm talking specifically those who lack integrity, okay? So don't get triggered. They usually date women with lower capacity than them. And because they provide financially, they cheat, they disrespect, and the woman has no real say. Why? Because she's financially dependent on them. I don't want to be in that position. That's not love. That's a transaction. That's why it's important to build yourself up first. So you're not entering a relationship from a place of lack or dependency. Because dependency can blur discernment. I once heard Iman Godsi say,
I have a type, and my type is girls that come from wealthy families.
not because he's shallow, but because at his level, he wants someone who's not easily impressed by material things. Someone whose worth isn't tied to what he can buy them.
They're not impressed by my money because they've got it nonetheless, or they're used to that lifestyle. So that's also a little bit of a safeguard for me.
Some people get triggered by that. But here's the truth, that's not arrogance, that's alignment. It's not high standards, it's simply his standards.
A couple girls were annoyed by it, but it's like a famous person saying, I like being friends with famous people because they understand me.
And I get it. As a woman, I've dated people who were less capable financially. And in that position, it eventually became really bad. We hit a breaking point where we just weren't aligned. And I believe God calls us to be equally yoked, not just in faith, but in values, purpose, and even capacity to build a life together. Amos 3 verse 3. Can two people walk together unless they agree? My encouragement? Work on being the person who can attract the kind of love you desire. Build yourself in faith, in character, in capability. Then your standards won't feel high to the right person. They'll simply be a baseline for a love that's aligned.